What's up, boys and girls? We're gonna go into a full Turkish Get Up breakdown as it relates to a developmental sequence, just like how babies learn to roll, crawl, walk, etc., etc. We're gonna go through the Turkish Get Up as if it were that developmental sequence. So I'm gonna go through it. We're just gonna do a naked get up, no weight. I'll do it from this side. Imagine that I had weight. I would come in, roll to press, then take up space. I'll go through all these movements again with the weight, but for now, I'm gonna run through fairly quickly. So roll to press, take up space with my leg and my arm. From here, my leg will drive in as I go onto that forearm. Drive in, weight stays up. Turn the peanut butter jar, open up. I'm gonna push through the bent legs foot as I rise and slide on through. Hinge in, transfer load until that hand is weightless, and then we're up. Square, eyes on the horizon now. The bell is no longer changing to the position of my shoulder, so I can take my eyes off of it. Step straight ahead, stand tall. Step back, soft knee. I load into that spring as I come down. I do not deload. I don't let the hips kick as I set that knee down. Pivot. As I go into my hinge, my eyes start to look at the bell, and I hinge down like I'm doing a deadlift, essentially. It's the same type of movement. Hand guides out, and I reach. Shift the weight over my hand so that I create the space for my foot to go through like a tripod. Take up space, hand down, close the peanut butter jar, and then I back down. Both hands on the bell, bring it down, off to the side, around the head. Okay, now we're gonna show you how that relates to the developmental sequence. So, developmentally, I'm a baby, whatever, playing. There's an object that I want over on the right side there. How do I get to it? I can't just crawl to it, so I need to start to reach. I'll reach, and then I'll start to bridge, right? So from there, I'll reach, bridge. My knee dropped in, just like it did on the Turkish Get Up. That's where people tend to miss on the Get Up. People want to keep the knee elevated. Once you need to, you're gonna open back up. You don't need to worry about it here. Both hands would come down for a baby, and they push themselves up, and now, look, my knee just moved its way in. So, I'm gonna push through and get to quad. It just slides right into quad. How's that baby gonna stand up now? Push back, rock back, take load off, stand, pivot, and back down. Soft knee, pivot, reach out, knee just slides through, down, and right back onto your back. So I convinced you, maybe. Let's go into it with the bell. I'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it from the side. So I'll do it from the other side now. Both hands on. I'm gonna roll to press. Roll, press up. Right? I like my hand to be at the corner edge of the bell, neutral grip. So my pinkies face forward, my thumb faces back. That'll change as I get into the standing posture. Take up space with your body. The bigger the foundation, the more stabilization you will have. I drive through and generate tension. As I come up, my left hand, you can't see it, I'll do it again on the other side, turns the peanut butter jar open. You see how my leg changed slightly. From there, I can slide this arm up, the left arm up, if I need to in the back side. This is usually pretty good for me. Now I'll open up that knee, push through it, and slide the left leg quickly through, knee stacks underneath the hip. I rock back into my hips so that I can be light on this hand. I don't even need it, right? And then I'll come right back up. eyes forward, now that my shoulder is no longer moving through a range of motion. And step strong, step tall. Reverse, you have a soft knee. Pivot, eyes back on the bell. Hinge, hand takes up space. Tripod, hips down, close the peanut butter jar, and lower yourself down. Both hands on the bell, bring it down and around your head, all right? So really, the reason why the motion changes from the developmental sequence to long legs and all this stuff is because those levers are just there to make it physically more manageable to carry a load and move a load through these ranges of motion. They're there to help build tension and leverage the weight well. If you don't need those leverages, then you don't have to use them. All right, other side. On it. Roll to press. I take up a lot of space here. I like to lift this hand off because I like my elbow to be the contact, and I'm driving through this left leg, staying tight as I go. Hands down, twisting the peanut butter jar right here. Twist that peanut butter jar open so that that shoulder opens up. We don't want to be here. We want to twist that jar open. From there, I may move my hand, I may move the left foot. Either way, I open the leg back up so my hip abducts slightly. I'm going to create a little bit of space by lifting and pull that knee to stack directly under the hip. It should be roughly behind your hand. Don't look down, you'll actually just feel it or do it without weight, and you can look down and assess yourself. Hinge in till you can get light on the hand, and then you can completely remove the hand and finish the hips. Pivot, eyes forward, shoulders no longer moving. I don't need to look at the bell. Stand tall. Notice that my hand is facing forward now because my shoulder moved through a complete range of motion. This is where I have the most space in the shoulder capsule. Right leg steps back, soft knee. Pivot. As I pivot, my eyes usually start to go directly to the bell. As I hinge down, hand guides out, shift over, grip, take up space, forearm comes down, and draw yourself back. Both hands on the bell, bring it down and off to your side. All right. I probably have other things to say about that, but that's good for now.